আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীল কৰাৰ এক প্ৰয়াস নিজ হাতে তৈয়াৰ কৰা সুগন্ধি ধূপকাঠি নামঘৰ ধূপ ভক্তিৰ আচল সুখ
সাফ সিকুন মানে হৈছে হাইজিন মাহৰ সেই দিন কেইটাত হাইজিনৰ লগতে আৰামৰ প্ৰয়োজন নহয়নে একো টেনচন নোলোৱাকৈ কাম কৰিব মন নাযায়নে এতিয়া আৰু মনে মনে নাথাকি চুজ কৰক
অত্যাধিক পাতল আৰু কোমল ছালৰ বাবে উপযোগী ডাঙৰ পাখিযুক্ত পেণ্ট যি 8 ঘণ্টা আপোনাৰ সৈতে আপোনাৰ বন্ধু হৈ থাকিব তিনিটা সাইজত উপলব্ধ
আদিয়া জৰুৰী
সুস্থ নাৰী সুস্থ সমাজ
পবিত্ৰ আৰু শান্তিময় নামঘৰ ধূপৰ সৈতে সমাজৰ মহিলাসকলক
Coming up from the Northeast Live Studios in Guwahati, Point of View with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Point of View, the show that decodes the region and beyond. I am Wasbir Hussain. Battle lines are drawn in Assam for the assembly elections next year. While the ruling BJP and its allies, the AGP and the BPF, are bent on snatching victory for the third time in a row, the Congress, still the main opposition party in the state, is struggling to give a direction to its election agenda. A Congress-led opposition alliance seems to be taking shape with a dozen or more parties, but Assam Congress President Gaurav Gogoi has definitely dampened the mood among the parties by saying that the Congress would contest 100 seats and only leave the remaining 26 seats for the alliance partners. This at a time when a key ally of the Congress, Rise or Dal chief Akhil Gogoi, said that allies were trying to finalize candidates in 42 seats. While the opposition faces the challenge of an amicable seat sharing, the BJP in the state has already got a head start with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah visiting the state and addressing massive public rallies within a span of 10 days. On his part, Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma has already declared that demography and development would be the BJP's key poll slogans for 2026. Chief Minister Sharma is also banking on his drive against illegal migrants, retaining states absolutely reclaiming Satra lands from encroachers by illegal Bangladeshi migrants and highlighting the mega infrastructure and development boost in the state. The big question is whether elections in Assam will be a direct fight between the BJP and its allies and a seemingly fragile coalition led by the Congress. Also, it will be interesting to watch the AIUDF, the party led by Badruddin Ajmal, who will be contesting solo this time, particularly because AIUDF Supremo Badruddin Ajmal has been saying that his party would rope in Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM as well as the UDF from Kerala. To discuss the Assam poll arithmetic, I have with me a distinguished panel tonight. I have with me Mayur Bora, social commentator and author, Mr. Swapnanil Barua, former administrator and now a political analyst, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, professor of political science at Guwahati University and well-known commentator, Dr. Rajiv Hendik, professor at Guwahati University and an analyst, and of course, Mr. Kirip Chaliha, former MP and a very well-known political commentator and analyst. Gentlemen, welcome to Point of View. But before we begin the discussion tonight, viewers, let's listen in to 2-3 small relevant bites that will help us in understanding the background to this discussion. First of all, let's listen in to what Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma said about the key election slogans that is going to be the BJP's prime mantra for 2026.
যোৱা 5টা বছৰ আমি এখন নতুন অসমৰ কল্পনা মানুহৰ মাজলৈ আনিব পাৰিছো কিন্তু ভাৰতীয় জনতা পাৰ্টিৰ চৰকাৰখনৰ লক্ষ্য বিকাশ কিন্তু সেই বিকাশৰ প্ৰয়োজন ক'ত যি বিকাশৰ আনন্দ অসমীয়াই অনুভৱ নকৰিব অৰ্থাৎ আমাৰ বাবে বিকাশ যিমান ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট আমাৰ বাবে অস্তিত্ব সিমানে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট
Okay, so he said that development and the identity are equally important as far as the BJP is concerned. That's the point that Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma is making. Therefore, the key slogan of the BJP is going to be demography and development. Now, let us see when the BJP is setting its agenda, giving the people a sneak peek into what it is going to harp on during the elections. The Congress is talking about contesting 100 seats, thereby dampening the mood of its dozen-odd alliance partners. Let's listen to what Pradesh Congress President Gaurav Gogoi said in Tezpur recently.
আমাৰ ইতিমধ্যে আমাৰ সিদ্ধান্ত যে 100 সিট 100খন আসনৰ ওপৰত কংগ্ৰেছ দলে প্ৰতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা কৰিব আৰু বাকীখন আসনৰ ওপৰত আমাৰ বিৰোধী দলসকলৰ মাজত তেওঁলোকৰ মাজত আলাপ আলোচনাৰ যোগেদি আমি ভাগ ভাগ কৰিম কিন্তু এখন আসন ওপৰত কংগ্ৰেছ দল নিজে নিজৰ প্ৰাৰ্থী যোগেদি প্ৰতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা চলাব
Very, very clear statement by Congress President Gaurav Gogoi there said Congress on its own will contest 100 seats and the remaining 26 seats will be distributed among the alliance partners through discussions. Now, are the alliance partners happy about it? Well, let's listen into what Akhil Gogoi, Riser Dol chief and a key ally of the Congress had to say.
Gaurav Gogoi কথাটো বেয়া পাইছো খোলাখুলি কথা এশখনত গৌৰৱ গগৈ এশখনতকৈ অধিক বুলি কৈছে দে এশখন নহয় এশখনতকৈ অধিকত আমি খেলিম বাকীখিনি সিট ভগাই দিম তেওঁ ঘোষণা কৰিলে আৰু আলোচনা নকৰাকৈ ঘোষণা কৰিলে গতিকে আৰু হেতু ঘোষণা কৰা উচিতে নহয় আমি হেতু ভিতৰত আলোচনা কৰিম
Well, very, very clear-cut and blunt statement by Akhil Gogoi. He said that, Gaurav Gogoi has said that he will contest 100 or more seats on its own. And he said that we are very unhappy. There was no discussion. That it's a breaking news that Akhil Gogoi is saying. He has also made it clear that there was absolutely no discussion and that should have been discussed not in front of the camera. That should have been announced not in front of the camera, but there should have been a discussion. Now, first comments from you. Let me start with Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta. What do you make of the opposition alliance vis-a-vis the BJP's head start that it has got to its campaign?
We should understand that Congress is out of power both at the center and also at the state level for a decade now. Therefore, there has been a crisis in terms of its presence. And if you look at the leadership, the leadership has not been that energetic, that aggressive in terms of setting the agenda, so on and so forth. And they have the opposition parties which themselves have been asserting to have a kind of presence in the electoral battles. Therefore, the kind of issues which are coming up, kind of statements which are coming up, I think these are very, very natural. It has definitely benefited the ruling alliance, that is NDA, but I don't take it too seriously. I think when a party or set of political parties are out of power, they have this crisis and they keep on asserting themselves so that in the process of finaling the alliance, they have a bargaining point. I look at all these issues, whether it is of Gaurav Gogoi or for that matter Akhil Gogoi. I think these are very bargaining status, as bargaining tactics on their part, and I don't read it too much.
Okay, Mayur Bora, Akhil Ranjan Datta is saying that these are bargaining tactics. It doesn't read too much into it. But here at a time on the election eve, when the Pradesh Congress president is saying that we are going to contest 100 seats at a time, when he has an alliance of 12 or more political parties, big or small, that's a different matter. But here we have seen one of the alliance partners very, very clearly saying that we are unhappy and there was no discussion. Do you think this is going to put the Congress-led alliance on the back foot even before it has crystallized?
You see, the BJP is like a perennial river in terms of their election management and the kind of hunger that have shown in the last 2-3 decades in the country and more so in the last 10 years. Against that backdrop, there is a lot of hope when Gaurav Gogoi won from the Jorhat Lok Sabha constituency, defeating the BJP candidates in 9 of the 10 assembly constituencies, but everything has been squandered now. The squabbling opposition, it's the proverbial tip of the iceberg you have seen. What you have seen today, it is the, I'll be very disappointed if they keep on, but I'm sure they are going to keep people disappointed who wanted the democratic tenets to take stronger roots in the interest of democratic forces so that BJP is slightly go to the back foot. But it is the other way around. This is the start of the bickering where he has said, okay, fine, bargaining points Akhil Ranjan Datta has mentioned. I can understand that political parties, because many things they have to, it's a politics of optics also. Outside they have to show that their own internal constituencies also. But I am telling you, I will be very happy if I am proved wrong. The kind of bickering we are going to see this time between 2 Gogois, 3 Gogois, but out of that Gaurav Gogoi and Akhil Gogoi, I am telling you today, you have not seen it before. Because whatever little understanding I have about their internal politics and all, Gaurav Gogoi, I don't know, he has become listless after his election from Jorhat, and he is playing his cards close to his chest. He is not discussing with other members how many seats, whether he is really interested in winning this particular election, or many people are telling he is interested only in probably after delimitation exercise, one more election is going to know. One nation, one election may also come up. So there are a lot of issues people are talking about this in the ground, and I keep on moving there. That's why if they cannot do it within a fortnight, within a week, otherwise people have already become disappointed. They are disillusioned with the whole process of opposition unity, and 3 Gogois trying to dislodge the BJP will have become a distant dream in the very near future.
Now, Mr. Kripchalia, a lot of people are also saying, you have heard Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, you have heard Mayur Bora, a lot of people are also saying that Gaurav Gogoi is actually looking at 2031. And he is trying to consolidate whatever he can, and he is actually not looking at 26, but he is looking at 31. Otherwise, a lot of people are saying that why would he directly say, without a consultation among the alliance partners as to how many seats they are going, because these are things which you don't really give out until the last moment. Whereas he has said that we are contesting 100 or more seats and we'll leave only 26 seats for the opposition to share. That led to the reaction by Akhil Gogoi, which you just saw. What do you make of this?
See, I think we are going to talk about the future possibilities on the coming election. Now, in this, I have a feeling, my personal feeling is that the so-called alliance of opposition, with Congress leading them, I don't think that alone decides the future of the electoral results. In the first place, I don't think there has been a huge mobilization of votes in favor of Congress party because some of the left parties, and especially Akhil and the other position. 3 Gogois is a very funny term, and I don't want that to be repeated again, because I don't think we should talk about Gogois and Baruas and all. This is a very silly kind of thing. But what I can say is, what the panelists said, like Moir and Akhil also, I think presently people are the people who are watching the political situation, people who are politically conscious, they still feel that in spite of lot of opportunities to hit at the ruling BJP during for their performance in the last 10 years, the process has been slowed not because one man party of Akhil Gogoi says that I need more votes and all that. Or for that matter, I think the leftists are naturally needed to give the intellectual backing and all. But electoral wise, I have seen the votes, the percentage of votes doesn't influence it to that extent that you have to get yeah.
Okay. I'll come to you, Dr. Rajiv Hendik, but let me quickly take a view from Mr. Swapnil Barua. Mr. Swapnil Barua, you had been with the BJP earlier. I don't know whether you are an active member of the BJP now. You were the vice president at one point of time. But my question is, do you get a sense that the BJP has really got a head start and that it's only a formality before they go plunge headlong into the election campaign with its agenda of development and demography? Because you've seen the symbolism, you have seen what Botodrova was until a couple of years ago. It was under the grip of encroachers, mostly by illegal migrants. Now it has been cleared, and see what a beautiful structure has come up at Botodrova, which was inaugurated by the Home Minister only yesterday.
I think you're very correct in assessing that BJP is very clear as to what it wants to do in the coming years. You all are seeing it in terms of the 26 elections, but I am seeing it with the little bit of touch that I have been with the BJP, is that it is going to be 200 years of British rule in Assam in 2026. These 200 years have been very critical in the sense that the demography has changed in the 200 years, and along with it the social fabric has changed. See, you had the original inhabitants, then you had the later migrants. And among the later migrants, now we have been able to segregate them into the Hindu group and the migrant Muslims. Now possibly there is one thing which I see in the BJP, although I am not very privy to the information, that there might be a decision or there might be an effort to really end minority politics in Assam after it began in 1905 when Sadullah was a part of the creation of the Muslim League. So I think this itself has created a lot of problems now, and the process of unification, cultural unification of Assam is possibly going to begin from this election. So in that way we are seeing that both development has been touched on by the government and also the cultural identity part has been touched on by the BJP as a party, and they are proposing and moving ahead with really now the focus is on the original inhabitants and their culture, and possibly expediting the process of the amalgamation of the later migrants into the greater Assamese culture. That is how I see it, and I think results apart, we are more or less sure that 70 is worst case scenario. BJP is getting 70. With a little bit of improvement, it can go up to 90.
So Swapnil Barua here is already predicting the numbers. We'll come to that, Mr. Swapnil Barua. Let me go to
what I'm saying is the assessed figures. You begin with certain figures, and that is why I think the whole exercise from the opposition has begun with the deciding on the figures. At least the opposition had not decided anything. Now at least two people have decided on the figures part of it. Ajmal has decided that they will contest in 35 and be happy with 25. And Gaurav Gogoi has started that I'll be contesting on 25. How much I'll get is 100, and how much I get, let's see.
Okay, Dr. Rajiv Hendik, we have got two other aspects which we'll discuss right now. One is Swapnil Barua saying that this could be an attempt to end minority politics in Assam, that we have to expand on that, and role of Badruddin Ajmal. We will discuss that after this first round. I'm concluding the first round with this comment from Dr. Rajiv Hendik from Guwahati University, joining me live from Guwahati. Dr. Rajiv Hendik, your first comments, how do you see the two sides, BJP vis-a-vis the Congress-led coalition? You have seen in the beginning how the Congress said we will leave only 26 seats to our alliance partners. Do you think that itself is an attempt that the alliance is not holding together right even before it has started?
Yeah, Wasbir, thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, very clearly.
Actually, I think that is what Gaurav Gogoi said was a sort of reaction to the BJP campaigning, which actually in fact have already started with the big the opening of the Botodrova Khan and all the other development projects which are now being in a way unfurled before the public, and there are more to come. So they are already off the blocks in a way. So I think it might be a sort of a reaction to the fact that the BJP's election campaign has already started, and the numbers have yet to be thought out in the other camp. So it might be like that, or it might be also an attempt to at least finalize the details of the alliance. So
that was not my question. That is not my question, Rajiv. My question is, it's not a question of sheet sharing. Gaurav Gogoi has clearly said that the Congress alone will contest more than 100 seats, or let's say 100 seats, and we'll leave only 26 seats to our 12 or more alliance partners. Therefore, the opposition alliance partners are unhappy. Akhil Gogoi said that this was his unilateral decision.
No, I understand, and I agree to that, what you are saying. What I am saying is only that you see, the coming of the visit of both the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, followed by the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah, and which the large gathering which were there in the meetings that they actually addressed.
Are you saying that Gaurav Gogoi was trying to put up a brave face by saying that Congress will contest 100 seats? Is that so? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they are actually moving towards that, trying to
put up a brave face.
And but at the end of the day, we have to understand one thing: election is about not only about the elections per se. You need the leaders, you need the organization, and you need the resources. As Azam Akan himself has actually highlighted in Parliament today, the resources of BJP far outweighs the resources of the other political parties.
Okay,
and in terms of organization, you go to the grassroots. There are actually you will find mostly BJP. Till the Panna Pramukh, they are there to look after the election.
So got it. We'll
so
come back to you.
All of them actually maybe the other party has have a lot to do.
I know. We'll come back to you, Dr. Akhilanjan Datta. Rajiv, hold your thoughts. Please hold your thoughts. I'll come back to you. Dr. Akhilanjan Datta, what Rajiv is basically saying that BJP is a well-organized party which has got its grassroots connect. But let's not go into that debate. That is something by now it is an established fact that it has got a well-oiled machinery to go with the process of election. Now the question is, sticking to Assam. Now we have seen the last 5 years. It's a continuation of the development push by the Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma government. On one hand, it's the infrastructure that he is building. On the other hand, the direct schemes that are going to the people. Now, I'll ask Mayur that because he had given an interview to a leading newspaper this morning. Now, on the other hand, can we ignore the fact that the targeted groups are getting benefits of specific schemes, whether it is tea gardens, whether it is women, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, 1.5 lakh jobs has already been given out, and lot of more job avenues are coming up because you have got mega industries like the semiconductor, which is not in the paper anymore. It has been from the paper, it has come to the not even in the drawing board state, it's on being implemented. So how do you look at it? Do you think that is a huge advantage for the BJP, and the opposition will have to work hard to counter this report card of the BJP government in the state?
I have been arguing it for quite a long time. I call it a neoliberal Hindutva politics. In the neoliberal Hindutva politics, you are definitely talking about the infrastructure, and you are also talking about the beneficiaries. And if you look at from 1991, it started. It became a huge kind of issue from 2004 onward, and from 2014 onward, it has become the only strategy, the prime strategies on the part of the incumbent government, to fight the electoral battles. Now, if you look at Assam, of course, lot of schemes have come up, and that has gone to every sections of the society. If you look at Nijut Moina, for example, and I have been arguing that if you look at the Nijut Moina, it's a very important issue because it gives benefits to the girl students at the higher education level, and it goes to everyone, even to the minority girl students. I think these are very good schemes. But you also need to look at SDGs, for example. If you look at Sustainable Development Goals 2020 and 24, if you look at Assam's achievements in quality education, for example, it is 41%. It is the fourth position from the below as far as the states of India are concerned. Now, if you also look at some other statistics, for example, Reserve Bank has very recently
fastest growing state,
45% growth rate, which is very good. But you also need to look at who are the constituents of this 45%. If you look at critically, it's basically infrastructure. Now, you also need to ask it who are investing in infrastructure. I think these critical questions are there. But nevertheless, when you look at overall performance of the government, I believe that governments have been doing good in terms of satisfying the constituents or in terms of satisfying the stakeholders. But that may or may not necessarily bring quality kind of developments that United Nations development SDGs are talking about.
Okay, Mayur Bora, now Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta is saying that you need quality development and the beneficiaries are the stakeholders. Now what do you think? Do you make a distinction between stakeholders and non-stakeholders as far as development is concerned? How do you look at it?
No, see, now almost everyone has become a stakeholder in the state of Assam, because the government at the same time is telling that we are developing, at the same time they are giving doles and freebies to more number of people. So it's a very interesting case what Akhil has highlighted. See, infant mortality, maternal mortality, we are not doing good. We all know about it. At the same time, there are some other perception in India today and other magazines and periodicals also. There, if you see, Assam is doing well. So Assam has become a very curious kind of a thing. Himanta Biswa Sarma is giving too much of emphasis on infrastructure development, out of which some beautiful things we have come to see. But in the process, what is the trade-off? Are we harming the nature, ecological balance at some point of time? Those things also have to be taken into mind. See, now opposition is not there to tell you all those things. They are bickering among themselves. So I feel Himanta Biswa Sarma, because the kind of trust he has been able to take from a section of the people over the period, I think he has to think about all those things like a statesman. Because I am personally not very comfortable with the ideology of BJP, you know it very well. But even after that, grudgingly many of the things, the VFS Global you have not mentioned probably, like the 60-70 countries visa you can do after some time in Guwahati. Then this semiconductor thing. But in certain other issues, three things, if he can be little bit restrained in giving a developmental push and going only for infrastructure. Secondly, the polarizing rhetoric of dividing the Hindus and Muslims. I think based on development and based on the bickering and squabbling opposition itself, BJP can win. Why they have to talk about all the time Hindu and Muslim? I am very uncomfortable about all those stuff.
We will take a response from that from my panelist, but after this very quick commercial break.
ত্ৰিশবিধ দুৰ্লভ বনৌষধিৰে প্ৰস্তুত কৰা কেশ কান্তি এডভান্স হেয়াৰ অইল চুলি সৰাৰ পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰে, নতুনকৈ চুলি গজায় তথা অসময়ত চুলি পকাৰ পৰা মুক্তি দিয়ে।
পৃথিৱীৰ হবাটোকৈ দুৰ্লভ ফুল আৰু আজি প্ৰতিটো ঘৰতে হেয়াই ফুলিছে। ষ্টাৰ হৈ সকলোৰে মন মোহিছে। ষ্টাৰ সিমেন্ট, হৰ ঘৰ মে ষ্টাৰ।
কুমলে চন্দত অনাবিল আনন্দ সেয়েহে মুখত নোহাঁহি
মায়ে নিজ হাতেৰে মঠি উলিওৱা ঘিৰ দৰে সুস্বাদু আৰু স্বাস্থ্যসন্মত পতঞ্জলি গাই গৰুৰ দেশী ঘি খাওক, নিজৰ পৰিয়ালক ভেজালকৰণৰ বিহৰ পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰক।
কুমলে চন্দত অনাবিল আনন্দ সেয়েহে মুখত নোহাঁহি
যুগ যুগ ধৰি যি এলোভেৰাৰ বিষয়ে মানুহ আছিল অজ্ঞাত, তাৰ বিষয়ে আমি কৰিলো বৈজ্ঞানিক অনুসন্ধান আৰু পালো যে পতঞ্জলি এলোভেৰা জেলৰ দ্বাৰা 3 পৰা 7 দিনৰ ভিতৰত পিম্পলছ, ৰিংকলছ, ডাৰ্ক সাৰ্কলছ ভাল হৈ যায়। ৰেচেছ, ইটচিং তথা স্কিন ইৰিটেশ্যনৰ পৰা পায় তাৎক্ষণিক সকাহ আৰু আপোনাৰ ছাল হৈ পৰে এভাৰ য়ং।
इन्हें देखिए छुपके ब्रिटानिया गॉबल्स खा रही है। छुपाना भी चाहिए, आखिर गॉबल्स बन गया है सॉफ्टर, टेस्टियर और फ्रूटियर। ब्रिटानिया गॉबल्स, माउथफुल ऑफ टिंग।
পতঞ্জলি কেশকান্তি নেচাৰেল শ্যাম্পু ইয়াত আছে 16 বিধ বনৌষধি যি দিয়ে চুলিক প্ৰাকৃতিক শক্তি তেন্তে এতিয়া চুলি চিগাটো নিষিদ্ধ
Welcome back. Let me go to Mr. Kripchalia. Mr. Kripchalia, now you see we are talking about the Chief Minister said that development and demography or identity will be the key poll slogans. Now there is the issue of when we talk about development, we have already discussed a little bit on that. There is huge infrastructure push, no doubt about it. But what about electoral engineering? We had the delimitations already done, so that has put a lot of changes in the electoral dynamics as far as the state is concerned. Now the narratives are absolutely now in favor of the BJP because there is squabbling within the opposition parties. The Congress has not been able to really forge ahead with the coalition, so on and so forth. So in that case, do you think it's an open secret and one can predict the result of these elections? Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of beneficiaries of the specific schemes which are targeted to specific sets of people.
Well, Wasbir, since this is the first, I think this is the first
pre-election discussion.
Pre-election discussion.
Yes.
So, I have a few points to make before I answer you.
Please do. Yeah.
You see, for last 5 years, in fact for the last 10 years, some or other, we have been discussing about the development of the state in terms of elections and election gains or loss, winners and losers. I think we are including the intellectuals. I mean, my apology to Moiri and Akhil and others. But I have a feeling that Assamese intelligence has not been able to highlight the problems of the state in the right manner. For example, we are talking about elections and you have already highlighted some of the problems like delimitation and all that. But are you thinking about the internal security of this Northeast? What about the danger to the insecurity of the Northeast, which is coming up in a very cruel manner in a very short time? I'm not going into details now because I'm going to give these explanations in the next few days. Secondly, is development? Does it have to be a corruption initiation or corruption influenced? Nobody seems to be talking about it. Number 3, we are talking about Hindu-Muslim politics. What about other ethnic groups? You see, when we talk about, we are talking about, I admit that there are certain weights to be given to this also. For example, electoral groupings between CPI, CPM and Congress and other parties, opposition, all of them getting united. But what about the demographic changes that has taken place? I'll just finish. How much support does the national parties, including Congress, has in the tribal areas? No. What happened to the tribe? What happened to the labor support that Congress enjoyed? What happened to the support of the Bengali linguistic minority, which Congress has? How has those erosions taken place? Do you mean to say that certain three Gogoi getting united can revive a party? We have fought 2 major elections. I had been one of the very active leaders there when AGP wiped out Congress. Then second time also. Has there been any further mobilization at the grassroots level? We are talking about, we are working like a if a political party starts working like a what do you call it?
Now let me expand. Let me ask this question, picking up from what you said to Mr.
I'll just add one point. One boy has been killed in Uttarakhand only that day.
Yeah.
What about those questions? What about all?
That is the job of everybody. That is the job. We in the media are raising this issue continuously about this death of Angel Chakma. Let's not go into that now. Now, Swapnil Barua, you see, basically what we are saying is that what Kirip Chalia is basically saying, that development. Is it linked to corruption? But nobody has raised it. This corruption is a non-issue at the moment in Assam, because I'm saying non-issue. I'm not giving a clean sheet to anybody because I'm nobody to give a clean sheet. Now, why I'm saying that nobody is talking about it is because in the public domain we are not getting that kind of a campaign against corruption in the state. So corruption to me is a non-issue at the moment. Now, my question is, does it mean that development has to be done in a measured manner? So development coming from any quarter is good for the state, isn't it? Because the last 75 years of independence.
Do you justify the loans? Do you justify corruption for it?
No, I'm not talking about corruption. Nobody can justify corruption.
In fact, the whole issue is that there has been very clear thinking, though not very perceptible. See, we have a responsibility of employing nearly 2.5 crore youth of Assam. Now, how does that happen? So that has to be, because through industrialization, we must absorb nearly 30 to 35% of our youth in industries. Now, how does industry happen? Once you have to improve communications. So, infrastructure is the starting point, which will hopefully lead to industrialization, and thereby lead to employment, and thereby lead to the improvement of the income. The fifth most progressive developed states of India, the target which the Chief Minister has set for Assam. So this is from that perspective. The other perspective which you have to see now is the point which Kirip had just touched, but I would like to tell you that the discussion, as far as I know, is going on now, is that there is something called historical rights of the original inhabitants versus the constitutional rights of the later migrants. Now, there is a mismatch, and therefore we see this conflict which is happening in Assam since, let's say, 1916, very pronouncedly. And that has to be addressed, and otherwise this kind of issue will go on, which saw a reflection in the Karbi Anglong very recently. Yeah. So a certain amount of thinking, I think, is definitely going on into the BJP as to how to solve this issue of constitutional rights versus the original inhabitants, or rather primary residents' rights. The historical rights, if we may call them.
Okay, so now Mayur, Kirip Chalia had also mentioned that what happened to the ethnic groups. Now we have seen in Assam the ethnic groups are with the BJP. Earlier it was the UPPL as far as BTR was concerned, and now the BJP has aligned itself with the BPF. So basically UPPL has also not said that we are not with the NDA. So as far as BTR is concerned, BPF is the dominant partner of the BJP, and UPPL is on the side actually at the moment. If you look at Dima Hasao, if you look at Karbi Anglong, all the ethnic groups basically are with the BJP. Yeah. Does it not give the BJP an edge? Because at the end of the day, tribals constitute a large population as far as the state is concerned.
No, electorally definitely it gives, because if you see for the last 5 years what has happened in Bodoland and how BJP has dealt with both BPF and UPPL without directly saying, also threatening at some point of time that we are going to arrest him or put him behind bars, at the same time again striking a friendship, electoral friendship with them. So that we have seen. That you are very right. You are telling it is only a mirror to the other groups, also tribal groups of the Assam, and most of them are with, for their own reason, pecuniary consideration, other benefits, they are with the BJP. But I have a point about what Mr. Kirip Chalia has said. I don't know about his past party or the present party. Congress also has not highlighted the kind of issues. I don't qualify myself to be an intellectual, but as an ordinary citizen, many of the things we have been highlighted. Two things I can say: this Hindu-Muslim, this rhetoric, this polarizing, toxic rhetoric, we have been always lambasting, lampooning, trying to erect a counter narrative to it. Where is Congress in that? Congress has not played a desired role in that direction. And about Wasbir, one more thing, what Swapnil Barua has told about the historical rights and the constitutional rights, it sounds very good in a post drawing room or in a TV studio, but I don't think it really matters in the field, because ultimately I don't think this will have the similar kind of salience as we want in a TV show to have in the ground level. because a community which has not been able
No,
to
I think-
define Assamese, how you are going to define the historical rights as well as constitutional rights? We have not been able to define Assamese for last 40 years. This is the reality of the state. That's what I am saying. It is a polemical debate. Ultimately, it is going to lead us to helplessness and nothing else.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not going to the definition of Assamese because that will be
No,
a separate
without
debate,
that rights
separate
cannot
debate.
be. Your rights cannot be. You cannot
Separate-
define that.
What every community presumes itself to be historic rights. I am talking it from that point of view, and the constitutional rights which the later migrants consider
how
that we
it
have.
is going to
Let
do
me
that?
ask.
That's
Let
the-
me,
very
I'll come to
clear
Akhil
now. I
Ranjan
don't think
Datta.
there is
Let
any
me quickly-
controversy in that.
Yeah, let me quickly ask Dr. Rajiv Hendik. Dr. Rajiv Hendik, we have seen in 1985 the Assam Accord was signed. AGP came to power. Then it was the Congress. BJP is a later entry as far as Assam is concerned. Now, we have seen the beautiful Shohid Memorial that was just built by the Himanta Biswa Sharma government. It was inaugurated recently. Now, the point is, why couldn't the AGP or why couldn't the Congress that had signed the Assam Accord with the government of India think of building something like the Shohid Memorial, recognizing the 600 odd martyrs who sacrificed their lives to preserve Assam's identity. So this narrative, and it was the BJP who gave the Bharat Ratna to Lokopriya Gopinath Badala. It was the BJP who gave the Bharat Ratna to Bhupen Hazarika. Do you think it will be easy to counter this narrative, which is going in favor of the BJP? These are facts.
No, it won't be easy for anyone to deny, what the BJP has been doing all along in terms of preservation of culture. Even you can also take the UNESCO heritage site at Soraido and many other things like that which are happening, and add to that the development agenda that they are having. So the age of gradualism is actually gone in a way. But I would like to actually dwell upon what Swapnanil Borua had said about the historical rights and the constitutional rights. I think if there is any party that can actually solve this issue of having the original inhabitants, that is, at the time of Yandabo, perhaps that is what he means. Because, the colonial encounter in Assam is very, very different from what has happened in other parts of India. And to make people understand of other parts of India what happened to Assam, if you look at the census, you will get to know it. 1921, 1931 census are having maps with arrow marks, all pointed towards Assam. The type of demographic, you can say, inversion that happened in Assam, it has not happened in any other parts of India. That is why we see what is happening there now. And incidents like Kheroni and other incidents, which sometimes we see erupts here and there, are all part of that, colonial wrong that is done, and that legacy being carried on even after independence. So I think he has a point there, a very important point, and I think that is where the real you can say resolution of the crisis of identity lies. And frankly, there are enough, you can say, material for the opposition parties to work on this, like the emerging regional parties, which can actually take up these issues. But unfortunately, we see that they have not been able to take up that much, and it is the BJP who has actually taken away that agenda with them. So
maybe Rajiv, maybe they have not been able to highlight this is because they have not been able to form up their alliance. They are still trying to give a shape to their alliance. I will come back to that. Let me ask you different questions to Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, let me bring in, we have been talking about Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, for that matter, the BJP, we have been talking about the Congress. Now, what about Badruddin Ajmal or the AIUDF? At one point of time, there was a time when AIUDF was a dominant player as far as the Assam politics is concerned. Now, we have seen the leader of the AIUDF himself was routed in his own election in Dhubri last Lok Sabha election. Now we hear Badruddin Ajmal saying that this time around we will rope in Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM, and we also bring in the UDF, which is a dominant pro-Muslim or Muslim party in Kerala. Now, does it have any relevance, or is it the last straw as far as the AIUDF is concerned? Because the AIUDF has realized that even their own support base are deserting them now.
No, you need to look at the electoral performance of AIUDF for that matter, because that party has been fighting elections from 2006 onward. If you look at 2006, 2011 and 2016, and also the parliamentary elections in between, they were doing good. But if you look at the 2024 parliamentary elections, that has been a kind of blow to the party. Now the party itself has been struggling to, claim its electoral presence in the state. And if you look at 2021, Congress was an ally, or AIDF was an ally of the Congress and other political parties who were allies of the Congress. Now, because Congress has completely abandoned it, at least officially, the party has been struggling, to assert for itself its political presence and to convince the community that we are alive. I think for that only the party has been talking about all these things. But I think if Badruddin Ajmal does it, it will be detrimental to his own party and to the kind of politics which is happening in the state today. Now let me also talk about a couple of issues which has come up. I will be short and precise. As far as ethnic parties aligning with BJP is concerned, I think this is nothing unusual. If you look at, for example, William H. Sangma, how the Meghalaya was created. Meghalaya was created through a movement. But once the state was created and the government was formed, William A. Sangma and his party merged with the Congress. And that has been the history of all ethnic political parties in Northeast India and Assam. If you look at in 2003, who had given BTC to Hagrama or to the community? It was BJP. But when it came to 2006, Hagrama or his party BPF aligned with the Congress, and that has been the kind of politics kind of traditions as far as the ethnic political parties are concerned.
Right.
If tomorrow somehow at the central government level party changes, they'll also shift to the party which is the ruling party. The third point, as far as the point raised by Swapnanil Borua, historical justices to the original inhabitants and the constitutional rights of the later migrants. All right, we have to do that. But does it need, or is it necessary to achieve that goal? Is it necessary to bring about such kind of polarizations? Is it helping the state? Is it helping the greater society? We need to look at these moral and ethical questions too.
Now, Mayur Bora, I'm coming to both of you on my left. Now the basic question is, where is the left today? We see the Congress having a list of parties which are supposed to be their allies. But what is their standing in the state? What is their vote garnering capacity? What about the left? Maybe I will ask this question to Akhil Ranjan Datta also. Where is the left? Now we have among the opposition parties which the Congress has, we only have Rise or Dal with one MLA. Now does it make the Congress's task really an uphill one?
See, definitely, because as far as the ideological underpinning of any particular political party is concerned, only those people there in the left and also in the right, including RSS, although they claim to be non-political, they are the ideological underpinning. You agree or you do not agree, but they are very loyal to them. But I'm finding it very strange that after 10-14 years of BJP rule in the state, or in the state maybe for 9 years, the left, the kind of political imagination they should have shown in uniting the people against the misrule of BJP, as they keep on saying, I think they have spectacularly failed. And that's why, but in the last election, Manoranjan Talukdar won from one of the constituencies. So it was possible. That's why I keep on saying in 2021, Akhil Gogoi showed that he can win from the jail. In last parliamentary election, Gaurav Gogoi showed, not in the typical, in his language, in the political boss's language, the Mia region, that's from Upper Assam, the traditional Assamese, as Swapnanil Borua was highlighting, from those regions, Gaurav Gogoi won. And that's why I am very, very uncomfortable with the fact that how they have squandered this by quarreling among themselves. And that's why we are going to, Congress is also going to have a tough time. And you are asking about AUDF. Yeah. AUDF, ultimately, if they come up with the other two players, which are do not have much of traction in the state of Assam, but ultimately they may end up harming Congress nonsense in some of the western Assam constituencies, if they do not.
No, I'm coming to you, Kripchalia, but Swapnil Borua, the inability of the Congress to provide a clear direction. Okay, they changed their PCC president. They have brought a more vocal leader who is seen in parliament. He is a good parliamentarian, Gaurav Gogoi. But do you think that is enough? Where is the Congress's rank and file? A lot of people say that he is a general without an army. Now, do you think that is preventing even the alliance partners from coming up with some kind of a solid strategy to deal with the BJP, whereas the BJP has no such problem because its alliance is absolutely intact and they're very, very clear about that. Of course, I can tell you today, my prediction is that AGP will get a few lesser seats this time around, but that's a different story. But AGP and BPF are solid allies of the BJP.
All the 40 seats, 30 odd tribal seats, you can be assured that will be in the BJP camp. You have 15 from the BTR area, then you have 4 from the Mishing community, you have 2, the 6 from the hills, and then one from Morrigaon. So you have about 20 odd which are firmly with the BJP at the moment. But the point about Congress, as I am talking, I think I'll have to again go back slightly historically, when they sort of relied too much, putting their eggs in one basket after their failure in the 57 elections, when they decided to go on with the immigrants, the Hindu and the Muslim immigrants, to form the 57 party, when the Young Turks of the then Congress decided that we should look for different areas rather than relying on the Assamese community or the tribal communities for our support. So ever since then, for the next 30 or 40 years, they put all their eggs in the same basket of the Hindu Bengalis, the Tea tribes, and maybe a little bit of the Hindi speaking community. Now what has happened is that because of that group has deserted them. Now they don't know whom to support and whom to look for support.
Let me take this to Mr. Kripchala. Mr. Kripchala, BJP's allies are parties which have a solid base. Now it's the BPF which has won the elections. They have demonstratively won the BTR elections. So they have a support base. It's established. As far as the Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao also, they have won elections. Their alliance partners have won the elections. Now, what about the Congress? Is that they don't have an ally which has a solid electoral record? Now AIUDF was the only ally in the past that a Congress had which has a established, demonstrated electoral support base. Now that the AIUDF is not there, do you think the Congress is in a much more tighter spot than before?
See, I'm sorry to say, I don't think AIUDF had been a constant ally of Congress party. AIUDF was born to oppose Congress party, number one. Number two, I will just come to the other point which Swapnil has been raising and everybody was discussing. So we seem to forget that we are now, as of now, we are still continuing the pre-partition politics getting affected this way or that way in an extension, as an extension. Moreover, some or other, the migration which is beyond control, even by constitutional process, is creating hell of a problem and a lot of insecurity among the people. And for that, political parties who are indulging in accentuating the differences and leading to the hardline political campaignings of hate and hate mongering, that is creating further problem to us. We mustn't forget that geopolitically, today India is not in a comfortable position. That whatever you talk about the Indian government and the Prime Minister, that Indian foreign policy has totally failed in the last 10 years, totally isolated. In and around, India is today isolated from Nepal, isolated. Pakistan is an enemy, isolated in Ceylon, Sri Lanka, in Mauritius, now in Bangladesh. You see, we are totally alone. At that point of time, the greatest danger is from Assam and Northeast. We are talking about chicken neck. Now people are talking about it. When I said it, if you remember, I said it immediately after Mohsin came. So we have to be very, 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 very careful about how things are taking place. Unfortunately, what is happening at the state level of politics, we haven't gone into the details of the dangers that Assam people are facing. Now, Congress was, don't forget, India was born only by the Congress after Congress got independence for Assam.
Okay, I'm absolutely running short of time. Akhil Ranjan Datta, your final comments. What are we expecting in 2026 before I come to
as I said, we need quality development. We need infrastructure, and that infrastructure development should also lead to inclusive development. And the second thing, we need communal harmony for the future of Assam, for the future of the country as a whole.
Rajiv Hendik, 20 seconds to you. What do you expect in 2026 as of today? What is your analysis? Where are we heading?
The BJP is, they have started already the campaign. The other party is a bit behind. But the point is, the anxieties that have been today, we have talked about, the anxiety of the people when we talk of demographics, that may actually tilt the election in whichever favor, we don't know. So there is still hope of a very good contest in the days to come. But as far as development is concerned, definitely, BJP has done quite a lot, and that will garner quite a lot of votes. But demographics may be the spoiler in the process.
Okay, Moyur Bora, final comments from you. Do you think development that Assam has witnessed in the last 5 years or more is enough to propel the BJP ahead of its opponents? Do you think the extent of development and infrastructure that the Himanta Biswa Sharma government has been able to build in Assam is going to make the task all the more difficult for the opposition?
No, definitely it is going to make the task difficult for the opposition, but I feel development bereft of the toxic rhetoric will be difficult also for BJP to get a very comfortable position. But even then, I feel that they will be definitely getting 50 to 60 seats if they do not employ this kind of rhetoric, which is not good for the country or for our society. But I can always appeal. Himanta Biswa Sharma has got other arsenals also, so he can definitely employ and deploy, and definitely he doesn't need advice from me. I only advise and request to the opposition parties that by Magh Bihu, you should try to show up that your unity, what you have been talking about for the last many years now, let it be a real one. Don't fake that there is a unity among them and then fight among themselves and become a sorry sight, so that you cannot come to any village of Assam later on saying that BJP has done this misrule, BJP has done this. This is high time for the opposition unity. Magh Bihu is the last, this thing, I think another 15-20 days. Do something or otherwise you perish.
Okay.
Final word, my.
Now, elections are elections. At the end of the day, I always say the voter is the king. But at the end of the day, the BJP is not taking any chances. Therefore, it is consolidating on what it has already been able to do in the last 5 years of the Himanta Biswa Sharma's rule. They're not taking any chances. They've already got the big leaders. And Prime Minister is coming again in the month of January. And here we have the opposition still struggling to give shape. But at the end of the day, we cannot take anything for granted. And we'd have to wait and watch as to what role Badruddin Ajmal going to play, whether OAC is indeed going to come or whether it was an empty threat.
One sentence you have to give me so that I don't be wrong. I can be wrong. I'm a political person. I am saying my only submission is political elections may not succeed unless the whole society rises against whatever is wrong in the society.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, if people are watching, we cannot take the people for granted. The people of Assam have demonstrated time and again that at the end of the day, they can call the shots, and it is up to them to decide. And that is why we are a democracy at the end of the day. We'll have to wait and watch. This is the debut election debate as far as Northeast Live is concerned for 2026. We'll have a lot more discussions going on. We have multiple views, different perspectives we'll not put any lead to the perspectives as far as we are concerned. We'll come up with various voices and present their views to you. Thanks for watching. I thank all my panelists for being on this show. Good night and goodbye.